Okay. So we have another problem here. So I didn't write the problem since the difference of this is just the amount, the what is the inlet, kung unsa ang gitake sa inlet. So ganiha, it takes a brine solution which is 2 pounds per gallon, while the rate of the volume that enters is 3 gallons per minute. Right now, I've changed this one to 2 gallons per minute, but the one that enters, or the liquid that enters this entrance or inlet, is a pure water. So, and while the the rate that flows out is the same 2 gallons per minute. So since that enters in same rate that flows out, the question is still the same. What is the amount of salt after 1 hour? So there are three options. The first one is the salt will increase after 60 minutes or 1 hour. The salt will be the same since we have the same rate that enters and the one that flows out. And the third one, the salt will decrease. Okay, so choose your options from the three: increase, decrease, or the same. Okay, so if you already have the options, remember that one. Tanawon nato kung asa ang sakto. So actually maklaro man pud siya ani kung unsa dayon ang answer. So let's try to prove. So actually the correct answer here without solving is, kung tanawon nato, even though they have the same rate that enters and flows out, we cannot say that they are, or the salt will be the same, since the one that enters is not anymore a salt solution or brine. Okay, so it is already water that enters. Okay, so meaning as it as water enters this tank, the longer enters the tank, the salt here will slowly moves out. So meaning the salt will be, as the longer it takes the water here, the salt will be decreasing. So let's try if that answer is correct. Okay. Sorry guys, I cannot write for my pen for a reason na nay problem akong pen, nakapila ko og record of video. Okay. So that's why let's I've written it here. Pareha naman po. Okay. So from here, the first thing you will do is to let your variables. The first one is Q, which is the amount of salt, since the salt is the one we are talking about at any time t. And we have the rate of change. So the salt with respect to time, because the Q is the salt that will change with respect to time. So we will get the volume. Ganiha, gikuha na to ang rate na katong rate niya, no? So kuha na lang una nato ang volume para di ka maglibog. So para sunod-sunod. So let's get first the volume. Remember that the volume of brine, okay? So ano na siya, brine. So from here, initially na siya 100 gallons. So giput nato 100 gallons. Giadd na nato og rate na mosod. Okay. So karon pag sud ani na siya mo rate na mosod, di ba? Pag sud sa pure water ani, mahimo na po na siya og brine. Mo nang giadd nato, dili siya zero for this case. Dili siya zero kay dili man ang gikwenta nato ang wala pa musod, katong mingsod naman, di ba? Volume naman sa tank. This is the volume of brine inside the tank. So, we have 2 gallons per minute na rate times na t minute. Okay, the same gapon sa example ganiha, minus the rate that flows out. So, since they have the same rate that enters and that flows out, so it is always enters minus that flows out, diba? So, since they have the same, so what we have here is we have 2t, 2 times t gallons, so 2 times t minute, so makancel lang minute, you have 2t gallons, 2t minus 2t, that is 0. So what remains is just 100 gallons. Okay? So, ang volume na to will always be 100 gallons. Kay, bisan pag unsaon na to, pag sud ani, dili man jud siya musaka kay ang kakusgon sa pagsud, pareha ra man kakusgon sa pagawas. So, the volume inside will always be 100 gallons. Okay? O karon, ang concern nato, di ba, is makuha man si pounds per gallon. Okay? Pounds per gallon. So, Dinihag, kini giditso naman eh. Later on, here, I'll explain it. So, we know that the rate of change is the rate that enters minus the rate that flows out. So, from here, remember na asya 2 gallons per minute and 2 gallons per minute na gawas. So, nakoy hiningsod na 2 gallons per minute. So, nakoy question. Nga, sir, why it becomes 0 pounds per gallon? Kini kay ning enter pa man eh, di ba? Mani rate of change sa pagsud pa man eh. Kato volume naman to within the tank. Kini kay pagsud man eh. Pangutana, naabay salt per gallon na ning salt? Since our problem states that the one that enters is a pure water, meaning you don't have any salt. So wala kay salt na ning sulod. So 0 pounds per gallon. Wala kay salt na sulod minus 2 gallons per minute, and then that one that flows out, you are sure that the one that flows out sure jud ka nga naa siya salt over volume or naa siya salt and volume na gawas, but we don't know, di ba? Kay sure man jud ka pag sud sa water ani mogawas ani na, since naa siya salt daan, sure ka naa kay salt pod na mogawas. Okay, so that's why you have q pounds over the volume gallon, di ba? V gallon man to, no? So, like the other one. So, gibutang na lang nato. So, 100 gallons. So, mana siya ang ning flows out. So, from that, you have 0 times this, it becomes 0. What remains is negative 2Q, 2 times Q pounds, cancel ang gallon, over 100 minute. So, you have pounds per minute. So, you have Q, which is pounds, time is minute. So, let's tangtangon sa lang nato ang unit para di ta confusing. Okay? So, from here, what is the method that we will be used from the methods that we discussed in the prelim? Okay? So, we will be using the prelim topic. So, from here, if we transpose this one to the other side, if you could look here, so if I put this one, so 2 divided by 100, that is 50, so you have q, negative q over 50. So if I do this, transpose this one to the other side, so I'll be using variable separable, so q, I transpose the q or cross multiply it, so you have dq over or kini pwede rin ako dq over q, tapos 1 over 50, that is, if we solve for that, so that you could see, 1, since this is over 50, that is negative 1 divided by 50, that is 0.02, so 0.02q. From there, I could now transpose this one, so dt from here, and this one q, so both, plus integral of 0, so for the c. So here we know that dq over q is ln q. Here we could move the negative 0.02 outside the integral sign and integrate the dt. Since we already know that dt is equivalent to t when you integrate it, and integral of 0 is c. So you will have this form. And then just some sort of transposing the negative 0.02t added to ln q. So you will have this general solution of lnq plus 0.02 t equals c. So our general solution, this is our general solution. Since the condition is we are looking for the salt, so our equation is salt and time, right? So initially we have salt that is dissolved in water, so it becomes a brine solution of 100 gallons. So we have 50 pounds of salt initially dissolved at initial time. So, and after 60 minutes, we are asking if the salt decreases, increases, or the same. So we are looking for the salt after 60 minutes. So at time t, we have general solution of ln q, which is ln, our q here is 50 plus 0.02. Our time is initially 0. So we have our c as ln 50. So now our time is at 60 minutes. So you have ln q, so from general solution, plus 0.02 t. Our t here is 60 equals our c, which is what we've solved already, which is ln 50. From there, just use your algebra, or you can use your calculator already. So you have 0.02 times 60, you have 0.02 times 60 equals 1.2. Okay? And then 1.2 is deducted to ln 50. So 50 ln 50 minus 1.2. So you have 2.712, etc. Okay? So exponential, wait, let me delete that one. So ln 50, you have 50 first, ln minus 1.2 equals this one. Let me copy this one. Okay, I'll copy it already. Okay, from that I'll clear. So you have e raised to the power of, okay, this one 2.71. So since this is the answer, just ln transpose to that equals, you have 15.06 pounds. So if you could see the amount, so if you could see the amount of salt decreases from 50 pounds to 15.06 pounds after an hour. So if you could see, since the water, so na-prove na to na mo decrease ang salt since water ang ningsod ug wala nay salt solution or brine solution ang ming sulod. So mo nang pagawas pag-anam-anam sa ato ang tangke. So sud man ang water, mag-anam-anam gawas ang salt until mawala na sa mahimo na siyang pure solution.